in social mediums, sometimes our effort to take an honest look at our historic journey as African American women is blurred. It's blurred by the perspectives of others, and they're sometimes not our own. So stay with me. Now, if you view how others hold our journey, it can sometimes be shrouded in shame or degradation. Our journey seems to be placed inside of a social drama that is focused on poverty and racial politics. And inside the social drama, which is much like a reality TV show, it is, our success is defined by someone else's definition of success. And it's based on someone else's perception of who or what we are, or what we should be. Now, inside this drama/reality show, the true value of our contribution to building this incredible nation is sometimes called into question for me. But we endure. We endure. And in other words, we keep it moving. And our reward? Well, every year in February and, sometimes in March, it carries over. Thank God we have a leap year this year. We hold tributes to these icons that have punctuated history with their remarkable achievements. And if I can digress just for 1 second, because I got really emotional today. I was looking at the slides and I just realized how blessed and fortunate of how many of the icons that I have had a chance to meet and have touched my lives. I was the first recipient of the Debbie Allen and Felicia Rashad Scholarship to Howard University, and I saw them. And it's just so important that we continue on with the legacy and what we're doing. But we pay tribute to these women who refuse to be held back and constrained by the drama. We pay tribute to the women who have successfully overcome the obstacles and perspectives that others might have placed upon them. But after February, and sometimes in March, if it carries over, it's back to business as usual. Yeah, where the statistics confirm what we already know. African American women move up the corporate ladder slower and sometimes not as far up the ladder as others. Families led by black women are poorer in average than other families. Black women are killed by stress-related illnesses more than any other. And the list can go on and on and on, unfortunately. Now, we may not admit it, but these outside perspectives that have dictated the recording and retelling of our history, they also impact our current journey. And they will impact the journey of those that are going to follow us. So let's think about this. Why are we always fed statistics that paint our struggle as a harsh one? Why is that? Our historic achievements are seen as overcoming, not as this is who she is. Do you ever wonder how that perspective affects our struggle, our growth, our development? Do you ever wonder how the news that she is living in one of the most dangerous, most violent neighborhoods in America has on a young girl? Whereas, if we were to say, that young girl discovered that according to the FBI statistics that the rate of youth murders has plummeted in her neighborhood, and the overall rate of youth violence has dropped to its lowest point in over 30 years. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it? It's the same neighborhood, but just a different perspective. In an excerpt from Weekend Glory, Maya Angelou, she offers us a lighthearted lesson on perspective. She says, my job at the plant ain't the biggest bit, but I pay my bills and I stay out of debt. I get my hair done and One second. I get my hair done for my own self's sake, so I don't have to pick and I don't have to rake. Folks write about me, they just can't see how I work all week at the factory. Then get spruced up and laugh and dance and turn away from worry with a sassy glance. They accuse me of living from day to day. But who are they kidding? So were they. My life ain't heaven, but it sure ain't hell. I'm not on top, but I call it swell. If I'm able to work and get paid right and have the luck to be black on a Saturday night. Now, suppose like the narrator in this poem that we just flip the script. Can we flip the script for a minute? And we begin to rest our history safely on our own perspective. Let's do that. We can include all the aspects of black womanhood that are important to us, but they may not be of any concern to anyone else. But we're going to flip the script. So suppose we yank our historic icons off of the pages of history, where they now live as two-dimensional examples of harsh struggle and overcoming adversity. But we're going to recast them as the serious sisters that they are with the true flavor that they possess. And I'm sorry, but Maya Angelou did have an impact in my life. I had a 20-minute one-on-one with her. And she writes, relentlessly about our journey, and no matter the challenge. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air. Taking a different look, let's take a more focused look at our history makers. And it helps us to make a stronger connection and a more personal connection with them. We don't do that enough. It'll help us to reshape them as people that are very close to us. You know, people very much like us. And if we dig a little bit deeper into the story of their lives and focus on some aspects which directly touch our lives, we begin to humanize these historical figures, and we make them family. That's the one thing I felt in this room. I felt a sense of family. So we're going to do that. When viewed from another perspective, the humanized version of our history speaks to the relentlessness with which we pursued our destiny, and not the whole watered-down version of, well, they did the best they could, poor things. You know, they did. They tried. But it's going to speak to the other side of, step aside, world, because some serious black women are coming through. Now, how well would our children perform in school, internalizing this new perspective? How many other professions would they pursue? How many other professions would be pursued by the sons and daughters of the poor once they understood that their mom and their grandma were not the result of 6 or 7 generations of women working below the poverty line, but they were in fact the descendants of a line of women who took agriculture to a whole nother level. It's perspective. They took it to a whole nother level, growing tomatoes or 2 and 3 types of greens or green beans and okra or onions, all in the backyard. Same neighborhood, different perspective. Now, defined through the eyes of others, we survived a difficult journey. But a redefined and more humanized look, it shows that we arrived as innovators. We remained innovators, and we are currently fostering several generations of innovators. I see them in the students that are here standing up, that stood up earlier. Understanding the real value of our contribution to building this great nation, it's going to help us understand how the historical icons that we study in school are women.